The Galactic Council's combat simulation was designed to test tactical efficiency, not compassion. Commander Zara 7 of the Vorthak Empire watched the holographic battlefield with clinical interest as 64 representatives from across known space fought their way through the virtual war zone. Each species had sent their finest warrior, except for the humans, who had inexplicably chosen a medic. Dr. Sarah Chen moved through the simulated jungle with her rifle slung across her back, her medical kit bouncing against her hip. The other warriors had already sprinted ahead, leaving clouds of disturbed undergrowth and the acrid smell of discharged energy weapons. The objective was simple: reach the extraction point before the enemy AI overwhelmed their position. Points were awarded for speed, tactical kills, and individual survival. Fascinating, murmured Research Director Keth 9, his 4 eyes tracking the human's slow progress. She's moving in the opposite direction of the objective. Commander Zara 7's mandibles clicked in agreement. The human had stopped beside a fallen Thraxian warrior, whose blue blood pooled beneath his shattered carapace. The simulation's pain protocols were set to maximum. Every injury felt real, every wound brought genuine agony. Medic down. Grid reference 77 Alpha. Chen's voice crackled through the comm system as she dropped to her knees beside the wounded alien. The Thraxian's compound eyes focused on her with difficulty. Leave. Leave me, soft skin. The extraction timer. Only 30 minutes remain. Chen was already working, her hands moving with practiced efficiency as she applied biofoam to seal the worst of the wounds. Not happening, big guy. Just hold still. Across the battlefield, other warriors pressed forward. The cat-like Falari bounded through the trees with graceful lethality. The crystalline Quarthan moved like living gemstones, their forms refracting light as they advanced. The insectoid Zephyri swarmed in perfect coordination, leaving their wounded behind without a second thought. This was normal. This was logical. Resources spent on the fallen could not be used to complete the mission. Dr. Chen finished stabilizing the Thraxian and helped him to his feet. Can you walk? Yes, but slowly. Then we walk slowly. Research Director Keth 9's sensors registered an anomaly. Commander, are you monitoring this? The human's tactical efficiency rating has dropped to 0.3%. She should have been eliminated from the simulation by now. But Chen had encountered something the simulation's architects hadn't fully anticipated. A human medic with the Hippocratic Oath burned into her soul. When she found the wounded Quarthan, his crystalline structure cracked and leaking luminous fluid, she didn't hesitate. When she discovered 3 Zephyri drones cut off from their hive mind, delirious with psychic feedback, she added them to her growing convoy of casualties. The battlefield's AI had adapted, sending wave after wave of virtual enemies toward the extraction point. The other warriors were forced to move faster, fight harder, leave more wounded behind. Chen's group moved like a mobile medical unit through the chaos, collecting the fallen of every species. This is tactically insane, Commander Zara 7 observed. She'll never reach the extraction point in time. The human female's stress indicators suggest she's fully aware of this fact, Keth 9 reported. Yet her determination readings continue to spike. Chen had fashioned stretchers from simulation debris and alien equipment. The walking wounded supported those who couldn't walk. Species that had been enemies for millennia found themselves working together under her quiet, competent leadership. A Vorthak shock trooper, the same species as Commander Zara 7, helped carry a Tyrillian diplomat who had been his people's enemy for 3 centuries. Ma'am, the Vorthak warrior said as Chen treated a severe plasma burn on his arm. The extraction window closes in 8 minutes. You should leave us. Chen looked up from her work, sweat beading on her forehead despite the simulation's climate controls. Around her, 63 wounded warriors from dozens of species waited in various states of injury. She was the only one still fully combat capable. Has anyone ever told you, she said, returning to her bandaging, that you have terrible ideas? The Vorthak's 4 nostrils flared in what his species used for laughter. The extraction point was visible now, a shimmering portal just beyond a ridge. The simulation's AI had positioned its final wave of enemies between Chen's group and safety. Energy blasts lit up the virtual sky as the healthy warriors engaged in the last desperate push. Chen checked her chronometer. 2 minutes. Listen up, she called to her patients. I'm going to draw their fire. When I give the signal, You all move for that portal. Don't stop, don't look back. Anyone who can carry someone else, do it. She stood, hefting her rifle for the first time in the simulation. Her medical training included combat protocols, but she was no warrior. Still, she sprinted toward the enemy line, firing with suppressive accuracy rather than lethal precision. The AI responded as programmed, concentrating fire on the active threat. Energy bolts seared the air around Chen as she dove, rolled, and fired again. Behind her, 63 beings of wildly different physiologies helped each other toward salvation. The timer hit 0, just as the last of her patients tumbled through the portal. Chen herself was still 50 meters away. Pinned down by enemy fire, her ammunition depleted. The simulation ended. In the observation deck, absolute silence reigned. The final scores appeared on the holographic display. Every species ranked by points earned, tactical efficiency, and survival rating. At the very bottom, with the lowest tactical score in Council history, was Dr. Sarah Chen. But next to her name was another statistic that had never appeared before. Patients successfully evacuated, 63. Commander Zara 7 found her voice first. Research Director, run the casualty protocols. Show me the survival statistics. The display shifted. Of the 64 warriors who had entered the simulation, only one had failed to reach extraction. But for the first time in the simulation's history, 0 casualties were recorded as killed in action or left behind. This is Keth-9's optical sensors whirred as they refocused. This is unprecedented. The human's behavior violates every principle of tactical doctrine. Does it? Commander Zara 7 asked quietly. Or does it reveal something we never considered measuring? In the debriefing chamber, Dr. Chen sat among the warriors she had saved. Species that had never spoken to each other were sharing water and comparing wounds. The Thraxian whose life she had saved first was explaining human medical techniques to a fascinated Quarthan. The Vorthak shock trooper was teaching the Zephyr drones a coordination exercise his people used for injury recovery. When the council representatives entered, expecting to deliver the traditional combat assessment, they found something they had never seen before, a room full of potential enemies treating each other as family. Dr. Chen looked up from where she was checking the Thraxian's bandages. How did we do? Commander Zara 7's mandibles clicked slowly, a sign of deep thought among her people. Dr. Chen, she said finally, I believe you just redefined what victory looks like. The human smiled, that peculiar expression that her species used to convey warmth and satisfaction. Good, she said simply, because I'd do it again. And in that moment, every being in the room, warriors and observers alike, understood that they had witnessed something unprecedented, a tactical doctrine based not on leaving others behind, but on bringing everyone home. The simulation had been designed to test their best warriors. Instead, it had revealed something far more valuable, what humans meant when they spoke of honor, duty, and the unbreakable bond between those who serve together. In the official reports, Dr. Sarah Chen would be recorded as having the worst tactical performance in simulation history. Unofficially, her name would be whispered with reverence in barracks and medical bays across the galaxy. The human who proved that sometimes the greatest victory is the one that saves everyone.